but last month I was not I wasn't you know acting like a dog, acting like a dog. Sorry, my head went I don't know where. I don't know how this was also a book that I have and finally hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hi and welcome. I'm Ra. I'm very happy to see you here, and for today's video, you know what we are doing. You know what we're doing because it is the time of the month again. We are doing my March wrap-up video, which basically means that I'm going to be telling you every single book I read in March, which is, last month, because it is finally April. You're seeing this the first week of April, so happy April. Spring is finally here. I'm very happy, and I'm very happy that spring is here. I love sunlight, and I love flowers, and I love green, and I love spring. So I hope you are excited for me to tell you every single book I read last month, because I don't know how I managed to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how I read 7 books, but I did, and I'm here to tell you everything about it. At the beginning of the month, I read this book that is called A Rebel's North by James Bella Barden, and this is the first book I read this month for book tasters. It was actually supposed to be last month's pick, but last month I wasn't able to finish it, so I finished it this month at the beginning of it. And this book is a great book. It's a historical novel mixed with fantasy. It gave me a lot of Game of Thrones kind of vibes, and it is all about a guy trying to battle and achieve certain things during the Irish independence. And if you know me, you know I love history books and like historical books, and I love the independence of Ireland. I don't know why, I just love it. So this book is all about that and different fights and battles that the main character has to go through. I really liked it. I made a whole review on Goodreads, because that is what Book Tasters is, in case you don't know. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just want to tell you in case you want to become part of Book Tasters. I don't know if you can talk to them or if you have to, like, if they have to reach out to you. But the Book Tasters is an exchange from a book and a review. So like, you do a review of a book that they give you for free, and the review has to be completely honest. Like, if you didn't like it, you have to say, I hate it, I didn't like it, what the frig was this book? And if you loved it, you have to say, oh my god, it was the most beautiful book I've ever read in my life. Like, you have to be completely honest with it. And this one was great. Again, you have the whole review on Goodreads, and I really liked it. And after that one, I read 2 other books that were children's books, because for this month's pick, I wanted to pick some books that were children's books, because I babysit and I work with a kid that is 3 years old, and I want him to learn English. And I know that with kids books, kids are not used to a specific language. Using kids books and children's books to teach them English or to teach them a language is very useful. So I wanted to read a few, so I had a few options in case I wanted to buy the book and to actually make him learn English. I read 2 books by Craig F. Faye, I think is how you pronounce the last name. I'm horrible with pronouncing last names and names of authors. And these 2 books are My Dog Thinks He's a Cat and If I Had $10. And I adored both of them because they're very short. They're both books for kids. It has like 2 lines every other page. And in each page you have a secret image that you have to find that is like hidden. It's so cool. And at the end you have like a little part, like a little photo for the kids to paint. Both are great books for kids. Obviously they're made for them. And in the first one, in My Dog Thinks He's a Cat, the whole book is about a dog acting like a cat. And the fun thing is, at the end of it, you see how the cat starts acting like a dog. And the other book, If I Had $10, is a book about, what kids can do with $10. And at the end of it, you see how, what the girl who has the $10 decides to do is to give those $10 away to someone else who may need it more, which is a pretty, good thing for kids to learn. Everything you give is going to go back to you in the best way possible. So be nice. Okay, like that. Okay, so those are the 3 books I read for Book Tasters last month. And after that, I read these 4 books. I don't know the order right now, so I'm just gonna start telling you the books. The first one is 10 Little Niggas, or also called as 10 Little Soldiers. And then there are 1,000 different titles, and I actually studied this at uni. That's why I had to read it. This is I don't even know the number of times I've read this book because I love it. It's literally like broken, sadly. It is very old. It was my dad's. I love this book so much. You know, I love Agatha Christie. She's one of my favorite authors, and I had to read this book for uni because we studied her, you know, in my contemporary literature course. And in this book, what happens is that 10 people that have nothing in common with, like each other, they are all invited by someone mysterious to a desert island, that the only thing that's in the island is a castle. And, you know, one by one they start dying, and they have to figure out who is the killer before all of them are dead, which is, you know, pretty interesting. Some of them are pretty stupid. You know, like some of them are like, how do you think, like, I know it's not you because you were with me, so what the fuck, you know, like things happened. But it is beautiful, and while I read it, I did not only, you know, remembered everything that, you know, the book is about, I also remembered why I love to read and why I'm passionate about books. This book is the book that got me into reading. I said it 1,000 times, and it is because I read this book and I went, I know why I didn't like books before, and I know what I have to read now so I can become obsessed, and now I am obsessed. So, you know, this is the book that started everything. So if you want to complain to someone, complain to this book. Okay, great. Now, after that, I read A Room of Unsong by Virginia Woolf. This was also a book I had to read for my literature contemporary course, and this book is actually a speech that Virginia Woolf did in Cambridge. And this is 125 pages, my edition, but it's like plus 100 pages normal, like in all editions. How long was this speech? That's what I want to know, because I read it and I loved it and it was great. I rated it 4.75 stars. The first time I read it, I rated it 5 stars, but now that I was, you know, analyzing the book and everything, I did not have that 5-star feeling. But still, how long was this? How long was this speech? You know, it's a pretty long book for a speech. What the hell? But it is great, and it tells a lot of, you know, comparisons about women and men during, you know, different periods of time, and like in the jobs and things that women couldn't do and men could. It's a feminist speech, and I loved it. It is great. Everyone should read this book because it is great, you know, just wonderful. Please go read it if you can, because you're gonna love it. You are going to love it. And if you don't like it, please come see me. We'll talk about it, and I will try to understand why you don't like this marvelous, brilliant book made by Virginia Woolf. The last 2 books I read are these, and you have, you know, a reading vlog of these that I don't know when you're gonna see it, because I want to put the second book of this series in that reading vlog as well. So it's gonna take you a while to see, you know, the reading vlog of me reading this book. And the end of this book is actually filmed also on a reading vlog that I'm gonna be posting next week. So stick around, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, so you can stick around for, you know, the vlog that I'm doing next week, which I'm actually doing 2 vlogs, but you're gonna see the end of this book and me reading this book next week. So this book is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and this book is great. I was not expecting the killer. I don't know what to think now, because, you know, I'm reading the second one and I am not, you know, figuring stuff out either. I want to be a detective. I would love to be one, but I don't have intuition. I'm not good at it. And this book is the proof of it, because I've tried so hard to figure out who was the killer of Andy and of Sal. Yeah, I did not get it. I tried so hard, I did not get it. The relationship that develops between them is beautiful. I loved it so much. And this book is about a girl that is killed by their boyfriend, but apparently the boyfriend was actually, you know, innocent. And this girl, Pippa, tries to figure out who was the actual killer, because she knows that the boyfriend would have never killed the girl. And so this book is all about Pippa trying to figure it out and having the help of the supposed killer, which is, you know, innocent. Well, at least Pippa thinks he's innocent. She has the help of Ravi, who's Sal's brother, and it was great. I loved it so much. It is the first book of a series. I am currently reading the second book. The reading vlog of this book and the second book will be up hopefully the 3rd week of April, if I'm not wrong. And then I'm gonna be, filming the reading vlog of the third and the last book, which is the novella, for, hopefully the beginning of next month. I don't know yet, because I don't know how long or how fast or how slow I'm gonna read the other ones. But yeah, this is a great book. I rated it 4.75 stars. It was not a 5-star, but it was very close because it was so good. I loved it so much. I'm a very harsh rater, so it's gonna be hard for me to get a book 5 stars. And then we have The Poppy Word, and this book was not a 5-star either. This was a 4.75 as well. 4.5. I don't know yet. I'm actually trying to figure out what rating to give this book because I don't know yet. But this book was beautiful. Love it. Rain is the main character, and she is a daughter from a family that was killed during the Second Poppy War. And after this war, the Chinese government made a law that said that the people who didn't have kids or had one kid had to adopt the kids that became orphan after the Second World War. And she and her brother get adopted by this family who treat Rain like shit. Like, they treat her like absolute shit. I am so sorry for her, but because she knows she wants to become a better person and she doesn't want to get married at 16, Rain wants to get to the military education. And to do it, she wants to get into synagogue, which is like the most prestigious military school, but it is very hard to get in. Like, normally only 1 or 2 people maximum get in every year. And she studies this exam for 4 or 5 months instead of years like everyone else does, and she gets into synagogue. And through this book you see her learning and trying to prove that she is worth to be there. And then things start happening. Wars happen, battles happen, people die, love relationships happen, and things start to happen. And this book was just perfect. The background of Atlas, who is this character that appears almost since the beginning of the book, I was not a big fan of him. I liked him, but it was more of okay, you're there, don't do anything stupid and I won't hate you. Then I figured out the background of his character, and now I'm obsessed with him because, oh my god, I'm still not as obsessed with him as with Rain because she's just great. She's a queen. I love her with all my heart. This book was great. Everyone should read it. Please go read this book. It is actually the first book of series, I think, so I maybe continue it. Don't know yet, but this book was great, and it was the last book I read last month. So yeah, that is the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little video. It's not even little, I think it's probably more than 20 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed this video with me telling you every single book I read last month. I hope you're excited for next month's wrap up, and thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so that you get notified when I post a brand new video. All my social media are down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and okay, that is the end of the video.